Well, thanks, Anthony. I'm here to host the second half of our panel dealing with the marvelous Mrs. Maisel for Amazon. And this is such a, successful show. It has 20 Emmy nominations this year alone, the most for a regular series, and that's very impressive. It actually won 8 Emmys in its first season and then won another 8 Emmys in its second season. Today, we're going to focus on the finale and see if we have any clues as to what's going to go on in the fourth season, as well as all the little stories that popped up in this final episode for the third season. And to do that, we have a number of the key people involved, including perhaps one of the most key, if not the most key. She would be the creator of the show, the executive producer, writer, director, has won Emmys for all of those things, Amy Sherman Palladino.
Hello. Hello, Doc. How are you?
Good, good. Amy Sherman Palladino is a powerhouse in bringing this show to the place it is now, and we have a lot to talk about there, along with four of the stars of the show here. Of course, the marvelous Mrs. Maisel herself, Rachel Brosnahan. Hi, welcome back.
Thank you.
And as Rose, we have Maren Hinkle. Hi, Maren.
Hi.
And then, of course, as Susie, Alex Borstein, two-time Emmy.
Hello.
I think.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? And then a guest star on the series, actually on the series finale, playing Moms Mabley and playing her to the hilt, because I remember seeing Moms Mabley, and boy, you were just great. Wanda Sykes.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, guys. Amy, we saw a very kind of heartbreaking moment at the end. I'm going to start right at the end. For those of you who haven't seen this episode, close your ears or something if you don't want to know. But this is important to talk about in the terms of how we did this episode, or how you did this episode to end the season. But there they are at the airport. Midge thinks she's going back on tour and is told no, she's not. That there were certain comments made when she played the Apollo that didn't go well with the star for whom she's opening. And there they are, left at the airport, watching the plane go away. It's very bittersweet, I think, and it leaves a lot of things open. So talk about why you wanted to end this season and exactly everything that's going to happen in season 4.
Right. Okay. Well, first of all, I think it's very important in a comedy to leave people completely miserable. I think that's my philosophy in life. I think that's how I proceed in all of my relationships. This whole year for Midge was about, we sort of thematically sent her on journeys. And this journey was really about what actually is it like to work in show business as a working comic, and what are the ups and what are the downs. And in the end, who are the people who are truly your friends, and who are the people who truly have your back? And because of that, we always kind of knew that at the end, because if you spend any time in show business, there's very few people who have your back, and you really do have to know, like, who are the people to depend on. And both Midge and Susie sort of had that journey in different ways. Susie with trying to steer Sophie to the ill-advised Broadway premiere, and putting a lot of time and energy in something that was not Midge, was not her passion, was not necessarily the way she should be spending her energy. And Midge sort of, learning and feeling like that she and Shy had shared this real bond, and just in being Midge, had a cold bucket of water poured on her head at the end, where it's like, oh, okay, I see how this is going to go. The person I can really trust is Susie, who's standing right next to me. And I think that is sort of thematically where we wanted to leave them with. Midge absolutely flummoxed that her usual, she went onto the Apollo. She thought she was following the correct procedure as being told to her by Sterling. And she actually did really well. And in the past, it's like, if you do really well, that's all you got to do on stage, not realizing that there was a whole other side to it that she hadn't really thought through. Part of what I love about Midge is that she does act first and think later. It's why her comedy works for her, because it's emotion driven. But in this case, it really, it took everything away from her. And we just thought that's a good lesson. It's a great journey, and it's a hilarious ending. Two chicks crying on a tarmac. How do you top that? I'm just telling you.
Well, I want to show a scene from the finale now before we go on and talk to all of our stars here as well. So let's take a look at the finale of season 3 of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Putting boxes in the car for an hour and it's not getting any smaller. It's nice to have a sound check.
I can't find the yellow hat. Abe, answer the phone.
Take this,
Why am I always answering the phone in this house? It's not my house.
I found the yellow hat, but I need another hat box.
I can say with certain authority you do not need another hat box.
Take my hat box.
Mama, can I take your hat box?
Am I still answering the phone?
Yes.
2 cabs,
Hello?
2 meters,
You're from
2
where?
horns,
The
honking.
village
I'll
what?
take care of the honking.
I can't hear you. I live in a lunatic asylum.
not
I'll take this in the
paid by the
kitchen.
honk.
I'll take it in the kitchen.
Okay, I'm ready.
She's
I
coming.
want to say goodbye to the kids.
You already said goodbye to the kids.
That was just the first goodbye.
You went to play with the little boy across the street.
Why'd you let him do that? I wanted to say goodbye.
You already said goodbye.
Mama.
Put all the trunks in the car except one. How important is the one labeled Bose? Back to square one, Charlie.
Where the hell are you? They're gonna turn the meters back on.
I want to say goodbye to the kids. Ethan, Mommy's leaving.
Well, you'll never get him that way. Ethan, get your butt back here now.
Mommy's leaving. I miss all the new words. Say a new word for Mommy. Say kitty.
She can't say kitty.
Say doggy.
She can't say doggy.
Say something, kid.
You give her a complex.
Me? You're the one who has her doing leg lifts.
That was someone from the Village Voice.
What?
It's a newspaper.
We don't need a subscription.
They were not selling
Come on,
subscriptions.
sister. One
he
new
wants
word.
me
One new
to be
word
their
for Mama.
theater
You
critic.
can't demand to work. It
Ball.
doesn't work like that. What did you
Door.
say?
They want me to be their theater
Hat.
critic. I have to go talk to him right now.
I
Bell.
found Ethan.
Martini. Extra
Get out of
dry.
here, take a bite, and get in the cab.
I give up. Bye-bye, sweetheart.
I'll call you when I get there.
I'll call when I get there.
They want you to do what? Miriam, call when you get there. Hey, did you say theater critic?
Okay, well, Rachel, let me ask you, we heard Amy talking about that appearance at the Apollo, which it was an amazing scene. That must have been something to be able to go out there and perform there following Moms Mabley, Wanda's brilliant Moms Mabley. I was thinking, watching the show, oh, she can't go on. She just got to run the other way.
Yeah, same. Fully same. I mean, I've said this with Wanda and to Amy, but getting the opportunity to watch Wanda Sykes do Moms Mabley was insane. It felt like we time traveled. We have moments like that all the time on this show where you have to take a look around and go, I can't believe that we get to do this for a living. This is crazy. Being in the Apollo, it was intimidating. It was, that was not an act that I or Midge wanted to follow, certainly, but it was really special. I'll never forget shooting this episode. It was very, very cool.
It was amazing your interaction backstage too with Wanda. After there, I love Wanda's response to you. Oh my God, this is going to take a while. She could tell because you were just this blubbering fan.
There were so many layers to what Wanda did in one line, which is "Welcome to the Apollo." It's just like there were so many levels to how she nailed that line, and I'm still like, I remember watching it in rehearsal and thinking, oh, what if she doesn't do that on camera? What if that was just rehearsal? What do? You say it, do it just like that. Will that screw it up? What? Just shut up and back away. And it was like, and it just kind of got better and better and better. And I don't know, Wanda really killed that, man. I mean, she killed the stand-up like you wouldn't believe. But that moment that had so many mixtures of just wait till you get out there. But on top of that, the sort of hurt and the indignation of that should have been her spot, but she's going to handle it with dignity because there's a chance that this girl may not be able to get off the stage alive. So like there's just a lot going on in one line. It's a very skilled delivery.
Wanda, what about that? What about taking on Moms Mabley? I used to watch Moms Mabley, and boy, I said it before, you just really nailed it. And it was like watching, but what was it like for you performing that?
Intimidating, but I jumped at the chance to do it because moms mean so much to me. And, like you said, I watched her when I was a little girl, and my mother said that I'd been preparing for this role for a long time because as a little girl, I would run around with like dust rags on my head and, then doing moms. So, but this was, like you said, just an amazing opportunity because it's first on this show, and just being asked to be a part of this show, I was just like over the moon. And then I want to play moms and then play moms on the Apollo stage. It just kept piling on. But the way that the show is done, it's they set the scene where it's kind of, it makes it a lot easier to slide into that character because they do everything else around you. So, like just spot on, like just from the wardrobe to, they don't skip on the background, it's like, it was a nice full house at the Apollo. And, so just everything. And then of course the writing and mom's words. And then it was just like Rachel said, so I'll never forget this. Never.
It's amazing. And you did mention the production value in the whole show. I just want to mention all those 20 nominations. Many of them are for cinematography and production design and makeup and hairstyling and, on down the line in term music, everything. The show looks just first rate in every way it's done. But the characters, it always comes down to the humans here. Mara, and I got to talk about Rose is becoming a big matchmaker now. This like here, she's got her own thing. Is that inspired? Look at Amy. Yes.
Very excited.
Rose is becoming a matchmaker. Clearly, is she sort of competing in some ways with her daughter here?
I don't know if it's competing. She has that scene which I just love shooting with Rachel in the end when she says, there is one area where you and I are in, complete agreement, how precarious a woman's life is when it's dependent on the whims of a man. And I think she's inspired by her daughter, right? And I think that even though she hasn't been supportive and letting herself go see her perform, and when she does, she gets drunk and hangs out with Susie. But I guess I love that Amy and Dan have given me a potential career opportunity. I mean, who knows what you guys are going to take with it? But funny enough, in my own life, little funny detail is I actually have set up a number of people, and I always feel it's like the greatest joy, right? That you can do is have love, and then if they get divorced, you feel terrible. But
then that's all your fault,
right? But the idea that Rose who loves humans and how she was in the Catskills with her fellow female friends, the idea that she could basically be part of the gossip and actually make unions happen. I think it's a dream. I love that idea. So I'm totally a fan of it.
That's fun. So it's art imitating life here.
Yeah.
Nice. And Alex, there's a reason you keep winning Emmys, and because this character keeps getting more and more complex and interesting to watch. And here we watch her in very human moments, blowing all that money and her clients' money and everything else on the gambling, and then having those scenes of kind of heartbreaking scenes of watching her trying to find a way out of it for herself, which I think is really interesting. Can you talk about getting to play those kind of things here in the finale?
No. Amy said I can't talk about that. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's honestly, you get a script. There's no negotiating with Amy. What's on the page is what you say, down to every consonant, every vowel, and it's there, and you just figure out a way to do it and try to do it as quickly as possible because we don't have a lot of time. But yeah, it's and that's probably for the best. You can't think about anything too long. You just kind of get there and do it. I spent a lot of time really angry about not being able to memorize the lines. I'm terrible at it. It's very hard. So I'm usually just very angry and in a really shitty mood. And that seems to work for Susie. So.
It does. It's beautiful. It's a perfect
thing.
It is.
Yeah.
It is indeed. You know, well,
the beauty of series television is that you get to work with actors on a daily basis, as opposed to a movie where it's sort of like a concentrated motion. And then I think by the time you get like really getting to know each other, like it's the wrap party and everyone's drunk and sleeping with the gaffer. So like this, I think, is the opportunity of, you know, we have now been a very tight unit for, you know, 4 years. And I've also known Alex for a very, very long time. It feels like forever, but it's just been, it's all right. It's all right. But it's been a long time. So I know her really well. And I know the levels that, you know, Dan and I know what insanely great actress she is. And we know how deep she can go. And I think that by, you know, when you learn that, when you work with people like Marin, like Rachel, I mean, forget Rachel. Rachel's not human, by the way. If anyone thinks she is, it's a lie. She's from, I know she's outer space. She's a Muppet. I don't know what it is. She's concocted in a science fair somewhere, but she's like, but Alex, I know her, and I know that she'll never say she can do anything, but I know she can do anything. And I know, in addition to her deep humor and the fact that she's going to make things funny that you didn't even think could be funny, there's so much longing and pain and rivers of emotions under there that I guess the thing is, I just got to keep her
600
angry.
pounds apparently. There's a lot in there.
Oh Lordy, I'm trying to give you a compliment, girl.
It's all.
Do you remember shooting that dance thing at the U.S.? What was that? Where you and I had a fight, Rachel, and they were dancing.
USO.
That was the first episode.
No. Was that
first?
No,
it was one or it was like one or two.
Like the fire.
It was a USO dance.
The fire.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, it's at a different show. I'm thinking of MASH. Never mind.
We're going to talk about that next time.
You're thinking when you put the pillow over the chicken, you thought it was a chicken. No.
I am so happy to have had all of you here. And, you know, when you were talking about playing this, and I was talking about playing kind of serious stuff too, the comedy, and this is up for a comedy series, is so funny, laugh out loud funny. That phone call that you got, Alex, you know, about your mother dying and going through those different steps of, well, how did she die? It's hilarious stuff. Everything in this show is so well done. So congratulations on all the Emmy nominations and everything. And thank you all so much for joining us here on The Contenders.
Thanks.
Thank you.